So what's up guys, Foxen here, Jerry. It's been a while. Smash that thumbs up if you've been wondering where the hell I've been. Let's get into the top anime of 2025. Number 10, kicking this off, ReZero Season 3. Yeah, starting with an isekai anime. I know, is my REM poster not up now? How many ReZero videos have I made? Time to suffer more, sufferer. We all fell in love with ReZero Season 1. You had the Subaru character, some people really hating him. You got to see its growth with his reliving and retries, making all of these mistakes, all for the one elf he was simping over. Fast forward 4 years, ReZero Season 2 that I've seen some people being a little bit lukewarm on. But I think with ReZero Season 3, we're back to peak. This season literally has the peaks and highs of the first season. At least compared to the previous seasons, there's no animation and no production issues related to Corona. I mean, you even kicked this off by having Subaru gruesomely dying. This time you had Emilia given more time to shine, and not just her. You had 500% more of the witch cult. Oh, you thought that lovable green fella, Beetlejuice, was bad? No. Now you have his girlfriend and his cult family here. This isn't a spoiler video, so let me not get too deep into it. The cherry on top for ReZero is always the opening, and this time too the ending. What is not to love? Oh, yeah. The one negative this season. No best girl REM, so you get number 10. Number 9, the Demon Slayer movie. So tell me, are you a Demon Slayer fan or are you a hater at this point? Yes, the god tier anime studio Ufotable is back. I'll be fair and throw some of the Demon Slayer hate crap back at me. I really dislike the previous season. I mean, I was even joking with some Japanese buddies over here that somewhere out there that dude is still sharpening Tanjiro's sword. I think thankfully because of that, at least my expectations were lowered. And yes, I am a manga reader. Oh my Ufotable, the I-gasm seeing this movie. This past year, I've slowly been rewatching a lot of the Ufotable stuff, like with Fate with my partner, and you could slowly see their progression, and they still are next level. The opening for this Demon Slayer movie, I did not want to blink. I didn't want to miss a single second. The Demon Slayer fights are still some of the best god tier animation. Yes, even AI knows that. Lisa coming back for the opening was just chef's kiss. You even had the SAO, Fate composer, Yuki Kajiuda back. So yes, the Demon Slayer is only carried by the animation memes aside. I'll just say what keeps this movie lore for me is that super long flashback at the very end. It is just a structural issue. Which, just to be fair, I do take off points because I think this could have been an easy fix. So, at the sake of sounding like a broken record, god tier animation, it deserves a spot on your top 10. My Dress Up Darling Season 2! I know, I've seen some of the criticism, Dress Up Darling is made for fragging webs. Right off the bat, just know My Dress Up Darling Season 1 was on my top 10 of the year. That was what, best of 2023? I don't think that made it out for reasons. So while I really loved My Dress Up Darling Season 1, Season 2 really felt like an upgraded complement to what has been built up so far. I mean, who doesn't love everyone's favorite waifu Marin? And she's not just this meme waifu character that everyone was going gaga over. Or at least that's not the only thing. For me, My Dress Up Darling Season 2 really felt more focused on Marin's point of view. Almost like a little bit of the reverse of Season 1. You got to see her love for Gojo. So dreamy, so perfect, so white, those blue eyes. Just a little different. And to be fair to Gojo, you got to see more of him develop too. I'll be honest, I almost forgot some of his initial issues. And I almost don't want to mention this. My partner is a cosplayer. And for me, and really us watching, it really gave this interesting look into the cosplay world. Something that I've kind of been getting first-hand experience here in Japan, in cosplay events, just helping my partner. For Season 2, you got more of these lovable moments. Will they, won't they? So many lovable teases. I really can't wait for Season 3, or maybe a movie. Next up, Dandadan Season 2. I almost don't want to put this on the list because I think I may trigger some of you. At least in Japan, Netflix has been heavily promoting this anime. I don't know if that's been the case worldwide. For reasons, there wasn't a top 10 for that year, but I think Dandadan would have been in my top 10 of that year. For me, it was really giving Mob Psycho vibes. The studio behind it is Saru Studio, which you may have recalled me covering in some controversies with them. Let's just say it feels like they're really going the extra step and beyond for Dandadan. Because let's be honest, this anime has no business having this great of animation. I think if the animation wasn't as good, people would not be talking about it. At least not to this extent. Which goes back to why I almost didn't want to put it here, because I've seen this overly glazed by people that, let's just say, they may not have even seen like 5 or 10 anime last year. For actual issues, I really wasn't a fan of that really abrupt ending for the first season, which is why Dandadan Season 2 I may even think is better than the first season in some ways. It feels like the complete package, not only expanding on Season 1 but actually having closure to Season 1 events. I mean, you have some really great unexpected animation, a little bit of romance thrown in, yokai stuff, kaiju stuff. What is not to love? Fricking Fujimoto 17 to 25. I know some of you out there are saying, what is he even talking about? From the creator of One Punch Man. No. From the creator of Chainsaw Man. So what even is this anime? It really is just a collection of Fujimoto's other works. What I really love is that each one is animated by a different anime studio. You want to do something crazy, go out and do it. I mean, recall Star Wars Visions? Never mind, I know that you don't, but it was kind of like that. This is not a spoiler video, so let me just mention some quick standouts. You had Niwa 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 Niwa, based on a Japanese pun. This is just an animation delight overall. In this dystopia world, you got aliens replacing us, just gobbling us up. We are juicy. Some of the remaining humans are actually hiding as KFC because the aliens don't like chicken. You even have some deeper questions about whether it is okay for us to be munching on some Wagyu. You had this other episode focusing on this very weird demented girl. The opening gave me this feeling. Let's just say it involves a spider, or tarantula, which in some ways is a perfect example of what anime does best, things that you wouldn't see in the West. Another one is this love story was really giving Kaguya-sama vibes. You just had the world falling apart around this potential couple, with this great underlying message about not waiting too long. Definitely one of my favorites, and you might have seen clips of it, is the one with the Chainsaw Man Easter egg. In some fun ways, it was giving me this Elf and Lied vibes. Watch it. Next up, the Mao Mao Kusuriya anime. I'm gonna show my dumbass and say I'm not exactly sure what the hell the reception is for this anime outside of Japan. I don't even know what the English name is. The fun part about this anime is that my partner got me into it, which is where you get into a little twist for me. I really was not interested in this Chinese story, but for my partner's sake, I give it a shot. Plus, you had Mao Mao, such an amazing seiyuu, voice actress, Yuki, Madoka, Tatsumaki. So it was a weekly watch for us. You had like episode 4, 5, 6. It was a really slow burn for me, but I finally got attached. Just melting into this Chinese hot pot. Ever since then, I have been enjoying this, Japanese take on this Chinese story. I've really been into this sciencey stuff that Mao Mao has been coming up with. I'm a huge fan of Mao Mao's quirky personality, especially her comments. This romance subplot also included is not a bad thing either. Hell, my partner has loved it so much she's even cosplayed freaking Mao Mao. What is that I hear about another season and movie coming? Hell yes. Next up, Takopi. Oh, just by the book cover, it looks so freaking innocent. For this one, I am a manga reader. My partner actually got me into it when we were first dating, which is why I was looking forward to the anime. I think this is the first time we had this unalive warning in Japan. Don't think it even aired on Japanese TV. So what is Takopi? Trying to tip over any spoilers. You have this little gumball alien coming to Earth from this happy planet. This little alien doesn't know anything, it just thinks everything's really happy, which really conflicts with them trying to make this depressed girl happy, or at least not as sad. You could just go ahead and imagine where this goes, putting 2 and 2 together with that explicit warning. This anime in some ways gives me this Re:Zero vibe. In some ways, I'm actually still surprised at how dark this goes, which I think will be too much for some people, and that's perfectly fine. I think the best thing about this is going in as a manga reader, so he actually had the studio going the next level, kind of reminded me of what Dandadan did. They've done a kick-ass job. If you skipped this or dropped it for whatever reason, just know that it is worth it at the very end. It's only 6 episodes. Best new anime, Gachiakuta. Yeah, this name does not roll off the tongue. They should have done something like Boruto's dad. So listen up if you skipped this. This is a new shonen anime from Bone Studio, the My Hero Academia studio. This really feels like a fresh breath of Titan air, just like Attack on Titan Season 1, or for other shonen, stuff like Naruto, stuff like One Piece. The biggest praise for this is a shonen anime with actual world building. And I know some people like to barf that around, but unlike the world of, let's say, Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, some parts of Bleach, My Hero Academia, all which I do love, all of those places are still really just set in Japan, our world, only make it slightly different. The start of this, what is this white holy world up above? Why do you have this population living in the slums? What the hell even is this trash world down below? I mean, forget about the stories, the characters. I was on the edge of my seat just wondering. I need to see the next episode so I could find out, just inject it into my veins. Another huge positive is something I realized watching the Slime anime, which is really just loving every single character introduced. It seems obvious, but it's important for a lot of anime. So simple, but you often don't get that. Maybe I just seen so much trash isekai anime, or even some other trash shonen anime that I was watching at the same time. This is simple, but really chef's kiss. This is another anime that I'm really not sure what the hell the reception is overseas. Let me know. Was it even promoted? Konosuba Season 3, the special. Do I need to say anything else? You know I love Konosuba. Just drop the mic. And I'm not gonna spoil them here, let's just say they are funny as hell. One of them is focusing on typhoons in the Konosuba world, freaking finally getting that beach special. I mean, Wiz in a swimsuit. Enough said, holy mama. And the second special actually gives you this Konosuba doppelganger special. Let's just say it's a Konosuba squad beating themselves if they weren't so useless. You're back with Kazuma living his best life, Megumi being Megumi, some of the top moments for her, more of Aqua freaking crying over everything, it's so good. And you know, I think Darkness is like the bottom tier from the group, including Union on that. This is some peak Darkness moments, including one very subtle joke that I think is just gonna fly over people's heads, but top notch. Come on, Konosuba Season 4. The top sequel anime, Dr. Stone. I mentioned with my engineering background, I am just a sucker for Dr. Stone. It feels like it was made for me. You'll recall Dr. Stone was always in my top 10 whenever it came out, and it's slowly been rising like Deku's rocket. This season really was special for me. I think maybe I'm the weird one when I'm watching Dr. Stone. I'm trying to find some issues with it. Am I the weird one, the only one that does this? Like, is it really that good, or am I glazing it way too much? I mean, you have Senku, you either love him or hate him. I've seen some people bring up how he feels like this overpowered isekai character, which in some ways he is being rebirthed not into a different world but just into the future. But still, ever since the first episode, you have Senku being the Yagami light of this anime. Despite that, he's not all that powerful. He's physically weaker, he needs help, he's often wrong, often needs to reiterate on a theory. How very sciencey of him. This season in particular really had the crap hitting the fan moment. What pushed it to the top really was, let's just say there is a time skip. That episode had me literally ugly crying. And hey, my partner loved the Chi anime. It finally opened the door to us watching this from the very episode, from zero. Before number 1, honorable mentions, the lightning round. The Licorice Recall specials, can you tell I'm a fan? I was debating about Konosuba or this one, you know which one went out. Come on, Licorice Recall Season 2, or movie. Spy X Family, whatever season we're on. This is the anime that exploded in popularity. I feel like there's been some backlash over it, but I'm still enjoying it. Ramna 1/2. I saw some of the original episodes way back then, and I really enjoyed both of the seasons. They've gone like this, but then kind of averaged out in enjoyment for me. Kaiju 8, major Attack on Titan vibes. I talked to my Japanese friend about this, and we both agree that the one thing keeping this anime back is that if it was a different studio doing this, it really needed that Dandadan or Takopi treatment. Medalisto or Medalist? Some of the best jump in CG animation. I think that was CG. If it didn't have that very awkward time skip, I think it would have made it into the top 10 for me. The other romance anime from Cloverworks where they're always freaking apologizing. Netflix really killed this by delaying it. I think this anime is easily going to be top 10 for a lot of people. It was almost there for me. Ao no Hako, another romance anime. I mean, this is the type of romance anime that I wish I had growing up. I think the only thing really keeping it down there for me is that I don't really care about the sport stuff going on. And My Hero Academia's the final season. If you know me and been watching a while, you know I've had a lot of issues with the actual My Hero Academia story. Don't have time to get into it here, but I'm still gonna give it its flowers. The best anime this year, Absolute Cinema, the Chainsaw Movie. Sorry, Mappa animators. I hope you're getting some rest. I know I keep on referencing it, but the Chainsaw anime was in my top 10 of the year. I freaking love the artsy take that Mappa went with it. He had the kick-ass chainsaw opening, the lovable characters, Denji, Power, the slimy Makima. Even the barf kiss was chef's kiss. That's not even getting into all the various endings. Mappa went the extra mile. Fast forward years later, boom! The Chainsaw Man movie. You had Reza being voiced by Chi from Ao no Hako. What a freaking angel, perfect casting, or should I say devil. Just insane animation. I know you had Demon Slayer this year. Both of these anime movies came out around the same time, so you are gonna have people comparing them. I think this was by far better. There was a wonderful music, all under this short-lived puppy love story. There's the latest Reza Dance meme. I'm really over the moon over this. I'm just happy it's been such a success worldwide, especially in Japan. I think the Chainsaw Man movie is still playing here. Like, forget about best anime. I think this might have been the best movie for me overall last year.